Good morning, YouTube. What is going on? I am back with another video. It is quarantine, so I have not really been able to film much car content, but today I got lucky with a buddy of mine, Keelan, who's actually already been infected and has the antibodies. So he's the only person I can hang out with. I can't get him sick, he can't get me sick. At least that's as much as we know with science. So good thing for me to actually see a human being. But if you guys are new, subscribe. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. In front of me is what you guys have seen. In front of me is a 2020 Carrera 4S in Carmine Red. I'm gonna show you the car in a second, but before we get into it, welcome to Driven by Jordan. Now, Keelan has brought this down for me for the day. I just let Keelan drive my NSX. I didn't want to film any of that because I feel like I've made too much content for you guys on the NSX, and it's for sale, so you know what I'm saying? I gotta part ways with it content-wise. So if any of you guys are interested in the NSX, it is at a price that is very much priced to sell, so hit me up if you guys are actually interested. Now, here is Keelan's Carmine Red 2020 Carrera 4S, a car that I have not done too much reading up on, but I've definitely watched a lot of the new 992 Carrera videos on YouTube, so I'm kind of well aware, but I've not looked much into the 4S. So on the way here, Keelan was driving. I haven't driven this car yet at all. I didn't want to drive it off camera just so you guys get my raw reaction, but he ripped it in normal mode, and I was very surprised. I did not know this car does 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. That is like almost turbo S numbers. That's pretty much turbo numbers. Obviously in the new 992 turbos, it's gonna be completely understated. I'm sure people are gonna be running 2.2, 2.3s in those cars, but still, comparing this to the 991 turbo, you're not very far off. You're pretty much there. I guess you're gonna see that in today's video. For those who do not know, the 2020 Carrera 4S is obviously all-wheel drive, hence the 4S. The S is a performance bump. This car is making around 443 crank horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque, coming from a twin-turbo flat 6 Porsche's new engine that's been revised, and a brand new PDK 8-speed transmission. Supposedly they had added a gear from the last transmission, which was 7-speed. Everything about this car I'm looking forward to drive. I don't want to bore you guys too much because I'm not a car reviewer, okay? I'm a drivist. It's driven by Jordan, not reviewed by Jordan. So we're gonna hop in. I got a GoPro. If the GoPro sounds like ass, don't get mad at me. It's GoPro's fault. Sue them. Before we get in, one last thing I need to say. For those who have been watching all my videos, I've been obsessed with Porsche for a long time, and I'm on a new Porsche craze. I've been really wanting to get into this car. I'm really excited. It's gonna be completely different than my NSX. So let's go. Porsche steering wheels are so small, and I love it. I don't know what it is, it's just so tiny. Where it almost puts your arms in, and you just feel so good. That's always something I've noticed, and I used to like big, beefy steering wheels when I had my Golf R wheel rewrapped. I liked it, it was beefy, but now I don't, and I like this. The only thing I don't like compared to the NSX is the NSX has these big, bolstered steering wheels where you can actually get a grip on it. All right, coming into a first mellow turn, the part of this canyon is quite mellow at the beginning and then gets very tight at the end, which means we'll be able to test everything. You gotta love Porsche. Porsche. I'd never say Porsche. Turning on this is great. One thing I've already read and heard about this car is the front end grip is very impressive.
Now this car does have the optional rear wheel steering as well.
So I probably should feel that a lot. Wow. Whoa, what is going on here? You're just still filming. We just passed 10 cops and Keelan just filmed all of them. No, we're filming us driving slow, officers. Yeah. But once I come around the corner, in case one of you guys decides to come after me, I'm leaving. So goodbye. The cool thing is I'm driving a road that I know really well in a car that I don't. So it's like this mix of but I'm in a Porsche. Being in a Porsche just changes everything. I don't need to know what I'm doing. I mean, I do, but if I didn't, I'd be okay. Here's where the road tightens up. Are there any steering inputs for this car, or it's just always very tight? Does that change by the mode you put it in?
That does change with the mode.
Favorite turn, so we gotta take it like we mean it. Watching Keelan try to hold this camera is amazing. Another thing I'd like to touch on is the interior of the new 992s. Actually, just the styling in general is phenomenal. Dude, this car, soft steering until you push it, and it tightens up immediately. Very light steering though. I would have expected the steering in this to be heavier, but once you obviously realize once again that it is more of a GT style car, as in touring, a more comfortable car, that makes sense. GoPro card's filled up, which is fine because I'm kind of at the point where I want to enjoy it and I want to give you guys kind of a summary at the end of the video, because I am the most windows down driver in the world. Whenever I film these videos, I feel like I'm missing out because I always drive my windows down. I like to hear the car, it just gives me a better experience. We're gonna get a couple tunnel pulls for you right now, and then after I'm gonna give a recap. So hopefully this car sounds a little louder in tunnels. We'll second gear.
It is.
Just got done. We did a launch, as you guys saw. We went in tunnels. We talked about it. I learned a lot about it. I really, really do like this car. I was just telling him, my biggest summary of this car is this. If it was between this, a 992 4S, and a 991 or a 991.2 Turbo S, I would take this because you're getting very similar performance. After this video, you guys can do this yourselves. I'm not gonna actually do it in the video. I'm curious to see the track comparison between this and a turbo. So I would 100% choose this over a turbo because this is pretty much just as fast in a straight line. 2.8 to 60 in this car. In a pretty much, let's call it a base Carrera because it's not a turbo or a GT car. 2.8, you're getting similar performance and you're getting the new interior and the new 992 exterior. The new styling on this generation is one of my favorite in a long time. The interior in this is absurd. Like an explanation I could give, or I guess a comparison would be, I'm a huge Apple user and I have a lot of complaints with the new upgrades of Apple phones because there's no excitement for me anymore. The new phone has an extra circle in the back. It's whatever. Whereas when we were at the iPhone 4, between the iPhone 4, 5, and 6, every time you went up a new phone, it was a huge jump with a completely different body, new styling, new glass. It was amazing. You were excited. The jump from the 991 to the 992 is so substantial that I am just blown away. The looks of this car, the rear, the front, the way the hood is squared off versus round, the interior of this car is completely different. I'm gonna end this video on some interior shots because we didn't do that earlier, but thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any comments on this car, if you guys have reviews you want me to do, I'm down to do reviews. I'm just not a car review guy. So if I'm gonna do a review, I'm gonna keep it kind of entertaining. Today was a little serious because I've actually been meaning to get in this car a lot. Wow. Very impressed. I'm still a Porsche guy. I guess it's more of the story. Key, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your car.
Thanks, man.
What'd you think of the NSX before we go?
Perfect.
Perfect. Yes, you said. You said it was too perfect.
Yeah,
so
I said it was too perfect.
I guess I need to break the car or something, and Keelan will like it, is the point he's trying to make here. I love you. Subscribe, and okay, bye.